Today we're doing something very long overdue. We're changing out my clutch and my flywheel. I've got the throwout bearing right here, and then I just picked up the pilot bearing. I have the clutch right here, and then the EXEDY Lightweight flywheel right here. So this should go pretty smoothly. I hope it does. Chances of it going smoothly are very slim though, because you know, it's an old Subaru. Shout out to Mastery of Subaru for always having my parts. I'm at my boy David's house. This is my first time like actually really doing it, so I'm kind of following his lead and hoping for the best. He's done it, I want to say 2 or 3 times, so he knows what he's doing more than I do, so fingers crossed. We've literally been sitting here for like 2 hours just bleeding this. There's so much dirty fluid in there, but it's all coming out. Just gotta tap this one more time on the bleeder valve and we should be good. She's alive!
24 hours later.
Moved the power steering, took off the throttle body, moved the alternator. Yeah, I was just explaining to them like everything we just did yesterday. I know the AC compressor has to come off. Fuel lines.
This line right here for the heater core has to get disconnected. That's gonna have to get disconnected. And after that,
we already took out the bell housing. Well, not all of them, but like most of them. We just gotta get the 2 bottom ones, and those are all done.
first task is lower the car.
Later that night.
Guys, I definitely stopped recording for a little while because a couple things happened. Like, so first of all, getting the starter out was literally like a 1.5-day process, and I don't know why. Normally when you just take the 2 bolts out, it should just fall right out. Mine didn't. We had to literally pound it. Thank you, appreciate it.
Welcome.
Then my buddy Pedro came through, which actually you guys will probably see him sooner or later. He came through and literally just smacked it and boom, came right out. And we got those 2 nuts all the way on the bottom for the bell housing nuts. We got those out through the top here, and then on the other side also through the top. And yeah, so literally all we have to do now is that right there. That is the clutch release cap. I believe it is the clutch fork release cap or something like that. We just got release plug, yes. We just got to go ahead and get that out, and as soon as we get that out, basically the entire motor can just come right out. We can go ahead and actually replace the clutch and the flywheel. I got really discouraged because I couldn't get all this stuff off, and like I started going, I'm gonna sell my car, and I started doing the whole, it was making me really frustrated. But like I said, homies pulled through and they like damn near muscled everything out for me. So yeah, we just gotta go ahead and hoist it up, get that plug off, and we should be all good.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
God, I'm actually scared. So we took all the accessories out, we took all the bell housings out. This starter, like I said, yep, everything's out. Dude, I'm kind of scared. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, car is moving.
You sure you took out the motor mounts?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's out. So this took like 3 days, just because, like I said, the slave was giving us a problem and a bunch of other small stuff. But like everything other than that came out pretty good. When we were pulling it up, the actual clutch fork itself was like stuck on here, and this is my throwout bearing, which is like kind of seized on there. And I mean, honestly, all of this looks very old and worn out. And then when you look down in here, these are metal shavings, I'm pretty sure, so that's not good. That's very bad. Oh, focus. Yeah, that's very bad. But we're gonna clean everything up and make sure that she goes back and she's ready to drive again. I am, since I have this out now, just gonna replace these motor mounts real quick. So I have some new to me OEM ones that I'm just gonna throw on now. And yeah. Hope you guys are enjoying this very scattered video, and I apologize. Most of my videos the past few months have been a little bit weird. A part of me definitely didn't think that this was gonna come out at all. I tried doing my sway bars a couple days ago, and it just would not budge. Put it on. That's what my dumb ass. There we go. Psych. Scared myself for no reason. Guys.
You really was about to like break it by putting it on too tight.
Yeah, I was. Just don't get discouraged with your dreams. The only person that's gonna make them happen is you. And if you start bitching out and saying you can't do it, then everyone else is gonna start bitching you out saying you can't do it, and you won't be able to do it.
But we did it.
Exactly. And so, just wanted to say that because I don't know. I'm feeling super triumphant right now. We got the EXEDY Lightweight flywheel on there. We also got the EXEDY Stage 1 clutch on there too. So now, I'm actually standing in my engine bay, but now I just wanted to make sure that I got the clutch retaining cap back on there, which I did. Made sure that everything over here was lubed up so that it just moves smoothly, and put the fork back in. So now we're going to just basically reassemble everything. It's definitely not going to start today, most likely not, but we're going to get everything back in today. So I'm excited, and I'm kind of actually just really happy that I was able to get it out, because you look at that old clutch, there's literally no material on it. Actually, hold on, I'll show you guys right now. I don't remember if I showed you guys this in like any previous clip, but this is my old clutch. This is the 190,000 mile OG right here. So normally on a clutch you want to have like grooves in it, like patches or like something like that, just to kind of like show that there's friction material. This one, there is literally nothing. Now you look on the flywheel and all these spots right here, these are all hot spots, which is that's a lot of hot spots. And this thing is a lot heavier than it needs to be. Now, I've been doing a terrible job of making a YouTube video and recording, but I wanted to make sure I updated you guys on everything we've been doing. As you see, we've got the motor back in. It's almost completely seated. You can actually kind of see a little crack right here. Once the actual bell housing bolts are on there, we're gonna make sure that the motor mounts are sitting properly too, and I'll put those in, and then yeah, we're basically done. We're just gonna button up everything else in the front, put all these lines and everything back on, so fuel lines, and throw all these harnesses back in, mount the AC compressor back on the bracket. This was a massive learning experience. I think the next time I do this, it'll definitely be a lot quicker.
Oh yeah. That's probably for evap, I believe, and the other one down there is probably for your boost solenoid.
There's a little bracket over there, and there's two nipples that come out. We're taking the old ones off, like the old lines, and the whole nipple just came off and broke. So again, Pedro came in clutch, gave me a new one, and we threw that back in, and we were just kind of sitting here playing with all these lines to make sure that they were malleable, not pinched or anything, and that they would stay out of the way of the alternator, because last time we did this, that was the whole reason everything broke. So I'm excited to drive this car again. It's been too long. You got that top one? Dope.
Yeah, that looks way closer now.
So right now, guys, we are literally just kind of doing the finishing touches of everything. Putting in all the bell housing bolts. I tightened down the two that are down here, or the four that are down here, I guess. And then David's getting up there on top. I am now also taking out, and don't laugh at me, but I got a screwdriver stuck in my CV axle. I was trying to get the cotter pin out, and I was being very lazy.
Look at this dude.
I actually grabbed my legit chisel set, and we're going to try to get this thing out. How does one get a screwdriver out of an axle? Okay, so, I mean, good news and bad news. Good news is, I got that screwdriver out, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Bad news is, it broke out, so, I mean, it's kind of just stuck in there. However, I bashed it down enough, so it's kind of just, like, leveled out, so it kind of just looks like a new cotter pin, so it's not that deep, whatever. Literally just putting all the fluids back in, so I'm putting my oil in. We're gonna go ahead and bleed the coolant, and then we're gonna go ahead and do my power steering, and we should be all set. Oh, also gonna add training fluid. Now we're pumping my clutch. Beginning of the video, you guys remember? We were doing David's. For you guys, that was like 5 minutes ago. For me, that was like 5 days ago. It's literally another day, yet again. Hopefully this is the last day. As we were bleeding everything yesterday, the slave literally gave out. I was pushing down on my clutch, it was building pressure, and then all of a sudden, all the pressure that I built up just got completely lost, dissipated, and when you look at the slave, right there under the boot on my old one, it was leaking. So I just came to the conclusion that it was time for a new one, and so I just went to Mastery Subaru again, and got myself a new slave, so we're going to put that on today, and I should be able to drive now after this, hopefully. Hopefully. Literally right here, like I said, on the boot, it was starting to just piss out fluid right here, and yeah, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and take this off, transfer the old bracket onto the new slave, and we should be good to go. Alright, you guys, it is a whole lot later in the day. It is actually 1 or 2 o'clock the next morning. We got everything put on, as you see. I'm actually in the car right now. It's on. Everything's running pretty smoothly. The only thing I will say is my engagement point feels way different than what I did before. My clutch pedal itself actually feels like a lot lighter, not as heavy. And I mean, it was throwing me off at first because I thought maybe there was something wrong with it. But it feels good. It just feels like it's engaging, like I said, way different than what I'm used to. So I don't know if maybe I have to get used to it, or maybe it has to get broken in more and it'll start to feel different. But yeah, it's in, and you know, all my coolant temps and everything are good. We bled everything. My power steering is still a little sketchy, but getting progressively better. Say bye, David.
Alright, man. Peace out.
Thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and see you all in the next video, whenever that may be.